Man, she's just so aggressive with it, man. Um, so I don't agree with what she started off with. Your your parents set the standard of how it is that you go and carry yourself into the world. So if your parents are teaching you to be a upstanding citizen in the community, then in the house, that should translate into going outside. Like if whatever rules it is that she sets in the house should translate easily once you step out them doors. Like it shouldn't be a difference. So that part I'm kind of conflicted by. The other part too was as she continued to talk, it was like, who is she talking to? And once she pointed out that she has this conversation with women, single mothers, then it was kind of like, okay, well, I can see that point. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's I don't know. I don't know exactly how to feel about what she said.
Okay.
Can
You
I
want?
add on to that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
I mean, once again, I'm gonna give an anecdotal situation. I think when a kid is tied too deep into an actual circumstance of what's going on between a mother and father, the dynamic stuff that was done historically, it brings on guilt, it brings on obligations. The kid grows up taking on the fight of the mom or the fight of the dad, and you feel like you have to appease them. There's a form, if you're a grown adult who's been brought up in a situation like that, you acquire a certain amount of guilt for things that, maybe they didn't do correctly, or maybe stuff that you want to make sure it doesn't happen again. So, you know, with my mom, feeling a certain way about, her and my father's dynamic, I may want to be there as a form of protection, to make sure shit don't get out of hand. Not on no domestic violence type situation, but just, this is still a human being, with as they get older, health issues. Like, my parents in their 80s, like we talking about health issues. Like, I couldn't just leave them.
Is that a bad thing though?
I think yes. I think to an extent it is, because you're a human. You have a life to live. You know what I mean? You have people, and if you notice that that's a hindrance from you living your life, then yes, it's a problem. If it's not, if you're able to, move on, sustain, multitask, and you're building a life for yourself, then that's good for you. Not everybody's able to do that. You know what I mean? Some people feel hindered in that
Mm.
because you're so tied into whatever their dynamic was, and you carrying on that guilt. And even them, not every parent is evolved. You know what I'm saying? Like twice, like once an adult, twice a child. You hear that?
Yeah,
Yo, my parents are children. You know what I'm saying? I have no kids of my own, but they are my kids.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So literally there's tantrums, like, all right, time to separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna leave you in here for a little while. Call me when you when you ready, when you get over your little attitude. You know what I mean? Like, literally they're children again, and you have to deal with them in that way. While you have to have compassion as how you would deal with adolescent children, but at the same time, still keep that respect and understanding. So, it is kind of layered and leveled when you come up in that type of situation, and it can hinder you.
All
So,
right. Go ahead, Sweeney. And I got to go ahead and get mistaken in after that.
all right. So, like I said, she said a lot. So I'm just gonna just touch on one of the things that stood out to me, and it's kind of about the whole being a parent being your identity. Um, what I've learned is that we change over time. We're not the same at one age. At one age, we're going to be totally different than what we were 10, 15 years before. And things that we experience in life closes certain doors and it opens up others. So when you become a parent or you become a husband or a wife and you start a family, that closes certain other doors in your life, but it opens up others.
Mm-hmm.
And so you like, because it used to be a time where there was nothing wrong with being a parent being primarily your identity, because it opened up so many other doors in your life. That may have segued you into becoming a part of the PTA, or segued you becoming a coach or something like that, or you know what I mean? And then as your kids get older, then you become a grandparent, and then that changes your life. And so I think right now we're in this space where a lot of people are starting to see children as burdens and not blessings.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get caught up in this idea that, man, oh my God, if I'm worried, if I'm thinking about my kids, or that's my primary goal in life, or that's who I am, then it must be something wrong with me, because I don't have some grandeur thing that I aspire to be in life. When in reality, you can get so much from being a parent. There's so much you can get in life from just being a parent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, not to say that, you know what I mean? Not to say that there's anything wrong with, you know what I mean, going out and finding your purpose and things like that. But I think we're just in a certain kind of space right now where a lot of people are finding problems with children. They, like I said, they look at them as a burden. So,
Sweeney, let me ask you a quick question. Do you think that the fundamental idea of parenting is being under attack? Like, it's not as revered as it once was, once upon a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I believe that's exactly what is happening. You know what I mean? It's being seen as something wrong, rather than, honestly, the best thing in the world is to watch your kids grow up to become a better version of you, if not a more functioning member of society that can go on and carry on your legacy, or carry on in their own right and become great people themselves. And you having the pride to say, yeah, I raised that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give you grandchildren, and then you get to lay back and enjoy the fruits of everything that you've done in life. Because most of us, and this is what I was kind of saying when I say that people are far more simple than we give ourselves credit for. Most people work jobs. I come home on 2 wheels every single day. I love to cut hair. Y'all know it's a part of my identity. But I come home on 2 wheels every single day because I love my family more. I love being a father. I love being a husband. And I got kids that love me, and I got a wife that loves me, and you know what I mean? I love, you know what I mean, being able to know that my daughter is going to go on to be a part of, you know what I mean, part of different high school groups and stuff like that. And I'm raising these kids to be great. So we have to stop viewing children that way. They are the next generation, because one day we're going to get too old to be able to take care, you know what I mean, to be able to continue taking care of this planet the way we're supposed to. They're the next generation. So for us to look at it that way, as if it's burdensome for them to be around, or it's a problem to be a parent, hell, shit, 90%. I'd rather 90% of my day be spent with my kids than cutting hair, to be real with you. I do the cutting hair. Yeah, I love it, but it's to pay the bills. But I would kick with my kids and my wife all day, every day, if I had a chance. And that segues into you being able to have family functions and stuff like that. Because I'm sure we've all had that auntie or that cousin or whatever that didn't have any kids. It is not fun. Well, I ain't gonna sit here and say that, but it's something beautiful and big, because family creates the community that we want. The cookouts that we talk about, what are those filled with? A bunch of kids and a bunch of adults that had them. And we say that we have a Negro good time.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a direct effect of why so many children now are quote unquote depressed when they ain't even going through, you know, any real life problems. It's like, how are you depressed at 8 or 9, and you know you're not even experiencing life for real? That has to be a direct correlation of them hearing that parent, you know, essentially putting them down unconsciously, you know, creating this hostile environment as to where they can't even be children because mama taking out on her kids what, you know what I'm saying, what a baby daddy did or something. You know, I think it's destructive. One of the most beautiful parts I would say with being a parent is watching your kid develop their own personality.
And it's a trip when it comes out of them too, boy, because you be like, I just seen a video where this mom was just talking to her daughter. She asked her a quick question, was like, when did cash money take over for what year? And the little girl started talking about how the British Empire created this currency and stuff like that. She was like, what kind of kid am I raising? But it was a trip because it's like, dang, I wouldn't expect, like, I'm thinking she gonna say
99 in the 2000s.
Damn, I got a smart ass kid.